Now on News 3 at 6, we are remembering Dolly Parton and the special connection she had to Georgia, from where she said "I do" to the places she performed. We take a look back at the country music icon's Peach State legacy.
Plus, the polls in South Carolina close in an hour. We'll have the latest on the high-stakes Republican runoff between interim Senator Darlene Graham and Congressman Ralph Norman.
First, a 5-year murder case suddenly on hold. The key witness dispute that stopped the trial for the death of a local high schooler.
Live and on your side, this is WSAV News 3 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Tina Tyus-Shaw.
And I'm Ben Singer. Thank you for joining us tonight. A murder trial 5 years in the making is now on hold before opening statements could even begin. The case centers on the 2021 killing of Bluffton teenager DJ Fields. A
jury had already been seated, then a dispute over whether a key witness could be forced to testify brought the proceedings to a halt. WSAV's Andrew Davis explains the ruling.
My position is he doesn't have the Fifth Amendment, makes him exactly the same as every other witness. And I don't give any witnesses immunity when they just come in and take it and testify.
That was 14th Circuit Solicitor Duffy Stone's argument to why Jimmy Green should have to testify against Messiah Anderson without immunity. Green's attorney says his client didn't want to take the stand, afraid he would say something that would lead to even more charges.
And the state has done nothing to overcome that. The only way they could do that is through transactional immunity under State versus Thrift, and they've indicated they're unwilling to do so. So my client's Fifth Amendment privilege remains.
Stone said he has no interest in charging Green again. He's already serving a 40-year sentence for DJ Fields' murder. Judge Marvin Dukes said, though, that wasn't enough.
Under these circumstances, I have no choice but to grant Mr. Green's motion and not require him to waive his Fifth Amendment rights and rights against self-incrimination.
The solicitor immediately told the court he would appeal to the South Carolina Supreme Court. That means this trial would be postponed until the court weighs in.
I hate it for the family that this has been delayed. This is the 5th defendant we have prosecuted in this case. It has taken us a lot of time, but we've got a lot of work that's been put in by a lot of law enforcement agencies. The family has already been through a great deal. We're going to do this right, and we're going to do it with everything we can.
Messiah Anderson will remain in jail without bond while this appeal is heard. Jimmy Green still serving that 40-year sentence that he pleaded guilty to. As for when we could be back for the next trial, that's going to be up to the South Carolina Supreme Court as they make a decision on Jimmy Green's immunity, and then we could hold that trial as soon as the end of the year. Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Some breaking news to tell you about now. At least 2 people are hurt after a house fire this afternoon in Bluffton. That fire broke out around 4:15 on Cold Creek Pass. 2 people were pulled from the house, at least one taken to the hospital. Neighbors tell us they saw what looked like a lightning strike in the area before the fire, though officials have not confirmed what started the blaze. We are working to learn more about the people hurt, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we get them.
Making national headlines tonight, fans are mourning the loss of country music icon Dolly Parton, who died today at 80 years old. Her legacy stretches far beyond Tennessee. Some of the most personal and memorable chapters of her life and career have ties right here to Georgia. Parton eloped with her late husband Carl Dean in Ringgold, Georgia in 1966, beginning a marriage that would last nearly 59 years until his death a couple of years ago. Georgia also played a role in her career. Parton performed in Belleville in 1975, shortly after leaving Porter Wagoner to launch her solo career. Decades later, several of her film and TV projects were shot across the state, including Joyful Noise, Heartstrings, and Coat of Many Colors. Her death comes after Parton announced in May that she was canceling a Las Vegas show and had been undergoing treatment for kidney stones for several years. During her more than 60-year career, Parton sold more than 100 million records and won 11 Grammy Awards, making her one of the best-selling musical performers of all time.
Savannah could soon hit a pause on any new large-scale data centers before one is even proposed. City Council set to vote Thursday on a 5-month moratorium, giving leaders time to decide what rules should be in place if a data center developer comes calling. If approved, the moratorium would temporarily block new large-scale data center developments in Savannah. During that time, city leaders would review Savannah's zoning code and consider what regulations may be needed for future projects. Alderman Nick Palumbo says that makes this the right time to prepare rather than wait until a project is already on the table.
Savannah is famous for its built environment, but it has a very complicated zoning code to get there. So we got to measure twice and cut once to make sure that we get something that actually works in our zoning system. There's no proposal on the table today, but now's the time to protect the zoning code from the next big one.
And city leaders have not yet said what new data center regulations could look like. The first step comes Thursday when a council decides whether to approve that 5-month pause.
Another local community is pushing back against data centers. At last night's Rincon City Council meeting, at-large council member Timothy Milner called for a moratorium on development approvals and for the council to hold a workshop so that they can educate themselves and citizens.
You may or may not agree with my request in this matter, but we owe it to the citizens of Rincon to hold a workshop and invite professionals, environmentalists, power company representatives, Georgia Southern, their science department for the water effects, to get facts about data centers.
No decisions were made at last night's meeting on the centers, but we will continue to follow this debate and keep you updated.
South Carolina voters are heading into the final hour of a high-stakes Republican runoff for U.S. Senate. Polls close at 7, just under an hour from now, in the race between interim Senator Darlene Graham and Congressman Ralph Norman. The two are competing for the Republican nomination for the seat left open by the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. The race has put two very different campaign arguments in front of voters. Graham leaning on her outsider status and President Trump's endorsement, while Norman points to his years of experience as an elected official. It also marks another test of the president's influence with Republican voters in the Palmetto State after Graham and Norman emerged from a 10-candidate primary earlier this month.
Higher voter percentage all across the board, not just in this election. This is democracy at work. Your vote matters. And I would just say get out and vote and let your voice be heard. This is the one time to do it. This is a big race. We're making a decision for the next 6 years.
It's important to me to hear from the people of South Carolina and what's important to them. So I've worked really hard the past 2 weeks, getting all around the state, and I think I've reached pretty much every corner of this state.
We'll have those results as they are counted tonight on our website at wsav.com/electionhq. We will also have candidate reaction to those final ballot numbers coming up tonight on WSAV News 3 at 10 and 11.
A $10 million transformation of Statesboro's Blue Mile is moving closer to reality. The next phase will bring new traffic lanes, drainage upgrades, and sidewalk repairs along South Main Street. WSAV's Evan Smoke shows us what's planned and how residents can have a say before the design is finalized.
Tuesday evening, citizens of Statesboro will get a chance to share their feedback and their vision for the future of South Main Street. The project is phase 2 of streetscape improvements on a portion of South Main Street, known as the Blue Mile. Improvements will run from the end of phase 1 at the Fair Road intersection to the Statesboro Regional Library. Changes include new traffic lanes, drainage improvements, and sidewalk repairs. It's estimated to cost $10 million, and funding will come from the city's Transportation Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, or TSPLOST. Construction on the project is not slated until the end of 2027, but the city wants to hear from residents at an open house tonight.
We want to give the public a chance to ask questions and look at it. We're not completely finished with the design. We're close to being finished with the design, and we're about to enter the phase where we start acquiring right-of-way for the project. So we felt like this would be the best time for people to ask questions and bring up any concerns that could be addressed, during the final stages of the design.
The open house is happening right now here at the Statesboro Convention and Visitors Bureau and will continue until 7 p.m. Reporting in Statesboro, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Now, Time Saver Traffic, sponsored by Arrowhead Clinic, the accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
Heavy rain and severe storms causing issues on the roadways. Numerous delays are occurring right now because of that heavy rain across Chatham County and into the low country as well. So definitely be careful on the roadways. As far as the system, the cells that are over Chatham County now into Bryan County, this is included in a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45. This is developing to the southwest and the west. 60+ mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail are possible with this cell. More storms for the evening hours and for the next several days. Full details in the forecast coming up.
Up next, families without running water, some for months. The new push to get water in Hampton County flowing again, and why local leaders say the number of families needing help could grow.